people are approaching every aspect of life like this. Exam means they're having runs. I know this very well because my brother was running a pharmacy, in Mysore, and examination means everybody comes anti-diarrheal medicine and go to the exam because otherwise they'll shit in the examination hall. Why is… And the same thing happens to them if they're going for a job, the same thing happens to them if they're getting married, the same thing happens to… They just shit scared of everything. That is because unprepared, isn't it? The only reason you're nervous about something… I was just talking to a few people around me. Last 3 times we had a helicopter here, the 3 different pilots. I'm just looking at them, they're so horribly nervous. But in 3,000 hours of flying, I'm just 100-hour pilot. With great joy I fly without an element of anything. But to a point why when my instructor in United States was interviewed by one of our people, what do you think about Sadhguru? Has he been a good student for you and all that stuff? One thing he said was, my only concern about him is, he doesn't seem to be afraid of death. They asked, what do you mean by that? He said, even if we turn off the engine, he's smiling and doing what he has to do. This is one of the big things in a helicopter is auto-rotation. That is, you turn off the engine and come down without the engine and land, preparing for an emergency always. To make you understand what it involves is, in the training craft that we fly, if the engine goes off, for you to realize, see, realization takes some time. You're flying and flying, if the engine fails, for you to know the engine has failed to register, it may take 2-3 seconds. Because the rotor is still making noise, only a certain level of vibration is gone and the meters fall, of course. But if you don't observe the meters and if you're talking to somebody and you miss the vibration, you don't even know it's failed, but it gives you only a maximum of 7 seconds. 7 seconds is all you have to do 3 important maneuvers. If you don't do those 3 important maneuvers in those 7 seconds, you are as good as a dead man. You can enjoy the last flight. So when you're flying without warning, one of the trainings is they turn off the engine. So I just do what I have to do and I get very excited when the engine fails. And I did over 100 landings like that. So he said, I'm really scared for him because he has no fear. I said, this was my father's problem also, not just yours. My father used to knock his head and say, this boy has no fear in his heart, what will happen to him? I never understood why. Why is fear a qualification? Why is fear a qualification? Awareness is a qualification, alertness is a qualification, knowledge is a qualification. Why is fear a qualification? So if you're shit scared of your exam, you're going to do well, is it? You're shit scared of going for an interview, you're supposed to do well, is it? You're shit scared of getting married, you're supposed to do well. I see people approaching everything like this. What is the point? So this is because somebody thinks, board exam, what will happen in my future? Your future will open up in a big way if you don't stand first in the school. Because then there'll be many opportunities. If you get 99%, you'll end up in a medical college. Or if you get 90%, you'll end up in an engineering college. If you get 65%, your life opens up. You really can look around, what can I do with my life? Now all the teachers are suffering, Sadhguru is is destroying the whole school. Those of you who are going for 12th standard examination and 10th standard examination, I want you, whether the teachers do it or not, forget about that. I want the students to complete your syllabi and be ready for the exam by the end of October. Okay? By the end of October, you must be able to write your exam comfortably. If you're a little shit scared, be shit scared in October. We'll give you one more in November. You'll handle it little easy, without a tablet you can go. December we'll do 2 more examinations, do it. January you just play, February you just look around a little bit in the book. Last year of school, enjoy yourself. When the examination comes in March, you just go there and already you've done this 5 times. So by December, you must be bored writing the same exam 5 times. So you're ready for the board exam. 12th standard, 10th standard, form teams of 5 people, they must learn together. Make the teams in such a way, people who are good in different subjects are together, all of them give tuitions in each subject for themselves and the teachers help them. See, learning, for any human being, when you learn something new, when you realize something that you did not know, does it give you joy or pain? It should give you joy, isn't it? It's natural for human intellect. If you grasp something that you did not know, it makes you joyful. Why is it being approached so painfully? Board exam, if you know, will you write it wrong? No. Only if you're just trying to remember for the exam, you could write it wrong. Trying to remember for the examination means you are a bloody cheat. Do you understand? You just want to remember, fool people for a day and say, I am passed, and then you don't know anything. You have learned deception. Don't start your life with deception. It's not good. That's not a good foundation for your life. Just somehow getting 100 marks, just because for one day you remembered something and vomited it on the paper, is this not deception? Just defeating the purpose of education, isn't it? We know something, that's why we must move to the next class. Not because we somehow tricked the examiner, so we move to the next class. What does it mean in our lives? It doesn't mean anything. Do not start your life on deception. It doesn't matter who thinks what about you. The important thing is you maintain your fundamental integrity in your life. This is very important for a human being, believe me. This is not about deceiving somebody, this is not about being better than somebody. This is, I'm here, I'll make the best use of my time when I'm here, I'll do my best. That's all. It doesn't matter somebody approves it or disapproves it. And no 2 human beings have come alike. Somebody may be a backbencher in the high school, but he may be frontbencher in life. So that is not the deciding factor. At every place in our life, from school to college to profession, let's not keep on thinking and having joy that somebody is behind us or somebody is below us. Why should you enjoy somebody else's failure? If you enjoy your first rank, that's all it means, isn't it? Yes or no? You are enjoying somebody's failure, that is sickness. You must enjoy what you know. You must enjoy your exploration. You enjoy your fulfillment of longing to know. This is what you should enjoy, not being one up on somebody else. Rudraksh as a seed, this tree mainly grows at certain altitude. Somewhere between 6,500 to 12,000 altitude is where Rudraksh grows in the Himalayan region. And it has very unique vibrations. If you hold a Rudraksh upon anything which is positive in nature, it will naturally go clockwise. If you hold it on something negative, it will go anti-clockwise. If you hold it on something neutral, it will swing like a pendulum. Somebody give me a Rudraksh, nice clean Rudraksh. See, before we go into that, I want to show you
what it does, okay? This is just paper, all right? You know about this Rudraksh going clockwise, anti-clockwise, something? Okay. See, you must tell me which way it's going. Which way is it? This is clockwise, right? Right now, I have not done any energy transfer or anything, just crumpled it, okay? Just crumpled it. Just watch this. What's it? So, I don't know if they told you, I'm sure your parents must have told you, your clothes should be properly folded and kept, your bed clothes should be properly folded and kept. Did they tell you? No, I'm not just saying this to fix you. I'm telling you, this is the difference it makes in your life. In this country, we were always told, after you wake up in the morning, if you do not fold your bedclothes, then devils will come and dance on it, demons will come and dance on it, and then when you go to sleep next day in those kind of clothes, it's going to affect your life. And that's just a dialectical way of expression, and it's true. What we call as a devil or demon is a negative form of life. What we call as a divine is a positive form of life. That which sustains you, that which enriches you is divine. That which affects you in a negative way is the demon. So just this paper, if you just crumple it and keep it, it attracts the negative form of energy. If you keep it properly folded, it becomes positive. This is why from everything to everything, how the house should be, where you should place what. If… I don't know, these days it's all going away, we are going by modern aesthetics. Otherwise, if my grandmother was here, everything where what should be what, everything should be in a particular way. In the house, if you go probably, if your mother comes from a traditional background, in the kitchen if you go, always salt and tamarind will be kept together, never separately. Do you know this? Is it so? Still maintained? Yes, because all this awareness, unfortunately, just became tradition. It's beautiful that it became a tradition, but without giving the necessary understanding to people why it is so. Simply do it. After some time, somebody comes and says, why should I do it? I'll keep tamarind on my head, salt somewhere else. It doesn't work like that. All these items have something to do with how you live, everything, how it should be kept. So the whole science of seeing how this human being can function at its maximum vibrance, even a simple peasant in this country knows about it without knowing about it. You know, he does not intellectually or consciously know about it, but he just knows this is how it must be done. Because the whole system of yoga was made into a cultural format and given to people because people saw the impracticality of teaching every aspect to every human being on the planet. So just make it culture and leave it to them. I want to see that for the next few generations later, as mothers would teach people, children to brush their teeth, yoga will just happen in their lives. This was so earlier. Earlier, Agastya Muni did this to the whole of southern peninsula, that in every home, everybody has an understanding of how to allow this being to attain to his full potential. So these things were made aware of, a simple thing like this. Many of you are already doing asanas for at least 6 months now. You could experience this. You keep 2 shirts, okay? One shirt you do like this, both washed clean ones. Do like this and keep it for 3 days, another one neatly fold it and keep it there. After 3 days, wear one, close your eyes and feel it, wear the other, close your eyes and feel it, just see how it feels. They're very different. So every aspect was brought into life. So what you see as this culture, because this is a land without God, This is a land without religion. This is just a certain science transmitted as culture. Because of various distortions, that science has become all distorted. Putting it back is not easy to the whole society. We want to put it back at least into a few people, hoping that they will be able to impart it to the rest of the larger society sometime in future. If we produce 1,000 people who really perceive, understand and live that way, I'm sure these 1,000 people can impart it to 1,000,000 people. Those 1,000,000 people can do it to many more people. And they may produce many, many more people who are capable of receiving this, and things may happen. One who is stuck in the realm of right and wrong, okay, not okay, liking and disliking, will never know the texture of love. Rumi is a lover. He's talking a language which doesn't belong to right and wrong. Rumi is talking about a field or a realm beyond right and wrong, which if he works up his love, when it becomes intense enough, once in a way he gets to that realm or that field that he's talking about. But for a yogi, that's the realm he is in. Once in a way he comes down to the realm of right and wrong when he has to deal with the world. Otherwise, that's where he is. And love is just one of the ways to get there. A sweet way, a pleasant way. But the problem with pleasantness is, when something gets pleasant, for a lot of people, the journey gets pleasant, they'll never make it to the destination. It's unfortunate. It's wonderful if the journey is pleasant. It's the best way, the most intelligent way to get to the destination is making the journey pleasant and beautiful. But unfortunately, most people will not make it to the destination if their journey gets very pleasant. They'll park themselves right there in that pleasantness. Once you start distinguishing between pleasantness and unpleasantness, how can you escape right and wrong? Once you start choosing what is pleasant, what is unpleasant, you cannot escape what is right and what is wrong. So when one talks about a realm or a field or a land which is beyond right and wrong, it is also beyond acceptance and resistance. It is beyond acceptance and rejection. You can accept and reject only when you identify something as good and bad, right and wrong. As long as you're in that realm, you will enjoy likes and dislikes. If you are placed in that which you consider as good, you'll enjoy that. If you are placed in that which you consider as bad, you will suffer that. In this state, this generally Here in this culture, we just dismiss this as rajas. Rajasic means like and dislike, pleasantness and unpleasantness, right and wrong, all these things. This state is very important for conducting the affairs of the world. But if you want to rule the inner kingdom, this is no good. If you want to be some kind of a boss, some kind of a king in this world, you must know what's right and wrong. You must know what's good and bad. If you can't discriminate, you cannot rule this world. But if you want to be a king of the inner world, then if you are in this right and wrong, you will never get there. That will not be your realm. You can think, you can emote, because thoughts and emotions belong to this. The moment you think, you cannot think beyond right and wrong. You cannot think beyond good and bad. So your thoughts and your emotions belong to this realm of right and wrong. Once you're beyond that and you're in a field of where there is no right and wrong, there is no thought, nor is there emotion in this. Oh, is life barren? No thought, no emotion. Is life barren? No. One who knows the boundless ecstasy of nothingness, for him the taste of thought and emotion is very puny. One who is constantly trapped in thought and emotion, right and wrong, in the dualities of life, because he doesn't know any better and he doesn't know how to get beyond this, he has to celebrate this somehow. He has to eulogize this. He has to make this the highest. Most of the world, most of humanity constantly goes about eulogizing as to what is good and what is bad, good qualities, bad qualities. This is what is loved and respected and acknowledged in the world. Simply sitting here, called stupid, no good. Once there is no right and wrong, it is not only that there is no thought and emotion, there is also not much room for action. If action comes, it comes only as a response to what's around. That is, the need for action is completely gone in that person. The need to love or hate is gone in that person. So do not understand being beyond right and wrong is a state of love. No. It is well beyond love. To put it very simply, to put it in a terminology that is hugely corrupted, we can call that yoga, where everything has become one. Love is just an effort to get there. Love could be an escalator, but not the first floor. It is not a higher floor, it is just an escalator. But sometimes If you are walking in the opposite direction, you could be on an escalator forever and not get anywhere. This happens in the airports, there are moving tracks. If you get onto the opposite one, you can walk forever, not get anywhere. Today people are hugely attached to this kind of moment, and that's why treadmills have become so popular. You can walk forever, run forever, not getting anywhere. There is music on it, there is video on it, it is also telling you you're getting healthier by the second, but you're not getting anywhere. I didn't call this love, I call this untouchable. Untouchable either means you're unwilling to touch it or you cannot touch it. You're incapable of touching it. There is a land that is beyond right and wrong. When you get to that land and lie there, humans who live for bread and toil to be what they are not will strive to hide their jealousy with mocking talk, and the gods will descend to be in the company they wish to be. Once you have reached that land beyond right and wrong, you never have to worry about making a mistake or going wrong. So once you're in that land, you don't have to worry about making a mistake or going wrong. That's when you live with simple abandon, where to other people it seems like you're reckless. But there's no way to make a mistake, so why should you be careful?